What's going on, team? Nick here. Now, back when we first started this channel a few months ago, we did about a 10-minute total breakdown of Heian Shodan, going through it step by step and talking about which motions we're gonna do, in which direction, and how to get there. And since then, we've had requests for a bunch of different katas, so today we're gonna do a total breakdown of Heian Nidan. And if you have any questions as we go, please toss them in the comment section, and I'll be sure to get back to those questions and answer them as soon as possible. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright, now as we jump into the kata, please keep in mind a couple things. First, we're not going to talk about the in-depth details about the actual techniques, like how to do knife hand block or back stance or front stance. We do have some other videos on that, which I'll toss a link down in the description box and some cards up in the corner as we go. If there's any techniques that we haven't done a video on that you'd like to see one on, please toss a comment down below and we'll be sure to do our best to get that video shot for you. But also, this is just how we do Heian Nidan here. It doesn't mean that it's the best way or the only way. So please just keep that in mind as we move forward. Now we're gonna break this down at first what we call white belt style, which just means that it's the easiest, most simplistic way that we can break it down at first for you to learn it, and then we'll smooth it out as we go and make it a little bit cleaner as you actually perform the kata. Alright, now first what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the kata, I'm going to explain it really fast, and then I'll go back and explain it in a little bit more detail for those of you that want that. Alright, so from Inyoi, we're going to take our hands, we're going to bring them back to our hip, and sink into a back stance. At the same time, I'm going to bring my right hand above my head, left hand straight out from my shoulder like an L or like a field goal here. So right here and right here, this hand's going to be flat. Now from here, I'm going to take my front hand, pull it back to my ear. Other hand is going to punch around like this. And then I'm going to pull back into hammer fist. All right, now from here, I'm going to bring them to my left side, shift my stance, and at the same time, these hands go up. All right, so from here, I'm going to go 1, same time, 2, 3. Now, from here, we're going to shift our back foot up, bring our right foot to our knee for that side snap kick facing towards the back wall, and my hands come to my hips. Now, I'm going to do a side snap kick and a back fist straight out, so it'll look like this from the side. 1, and it's going to come back. Now, as it comes back, my hand's going to go across and get ready for this knife hand block. So from here I go 1, left hand comes across, and I land back into my back stance. I'm going to do 2 more knife hand blocks, 2, 3, and then I'm going to shift forward with oseuke or a pressing block and nukete in a front stance. So I'm going to go from here, I'm going to press forward and kiai. That's our first kiai right there. All right, now from this motion, it's going to be essentially like the last 4 moves of Heian Shodan, where I'm going to turn and do my knife hand blocks in the 4 corner direction. So I'm going to go straight around 1, 2, 3, and then over at the angle here, 4. All right, now everything else winds up being back towards the back wall. I'm going to wind up doing it facing towards you just so it'll make it a little bit easier. So I just went to the nukete and kiai. 1, I turn 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to take my backhand and push it down, shift over, and rear hand middle block in a front stance, in Zenkutsudachi, right from here. Now I'm going to do a back leg maigiri or front kick, snapping it all the way out and back and landing forward with a reverse punch. So again, from here, I'm going to shift around 1, 2, and 3. Now right after this, I'm going to do a middle block again with the same hand that's punching. So I'm going to pull it back and middle block. You'll see some people pull this front foot back. That usually will happen if you get enough hip into this middle block. So we don't want to necessarily just step it back. We want to use our hips to pull that front foot back this way. Now we're going to do another front kick, reverse punch, and then we're going to end towards the back wall with a Muroto-uke or a reinforced middle block. So we're going to shift forward, hands come back to our hips, and out like this. with the pinky touching right here on our forearm. All right, now, the last 4 moves are pretty simple. We're going to turn from that Muroto Uke into a Gedan Barai. So if, again, this whole combination wound up being towards the back wall, I'm going to turn and low block. I'm going to point off at an angle, shift over, and high block. All right, last combination, I'm going to bring my right hand high, shift around, low block, push off, shift through high block, and that's our second ki right there. Shifting back to Yoi, and the kata is done. All right, now let's take a second and go into a little bit more detail on a few of these motions that we see some mistakes being made on. All right, now the first motion is really probably one of the hardest techniques in the whole kata. Now when we first start off, we're going to train it the way we call white belt style, which just means it's the easiest way to learn and it's the most simplistic version of the technique. So from Yoi, I'm going to bring my hands back to what we call cup and saucer. So my hand is going to be flat, my other hand's going to be on top, like I have a plate and a cup of coffee, because what's a day without a cup of coffee? So we're going to be here just like this. Now as we speed this up, you won't necessarily stop here. So if you think about a low block, we start off training 1 and 2, but when we get more advanced, we don't always stop in this position. We get here, and then we go right into the block. So it's going to be the same way with this. All right, so as I do my first motion, I'm going to sink my body as my hands get here, and then I'm going to push right up into this first motion, 2, 3. From here, I'm going to use my hips to pull my stance, and at the same time, flick my hands up to this motion, 2 and 3. So we want to think about this motion being right up in our shoulder level, like I'm blocking a big punch coming in. You'll be surprised at how much power you actually have with this arm being in this position. And this arm being right here, it's going to be flat, not like a rising block or agiuke. It's going to be flat like a punch. So as if I'm blocking and punching at the same time, just as kind of a reference for how we want to utilize this. So we get through 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we go right into that side snap kick and back fist, and then knife hand block. So with this side snap kick, after I've done 1, 2, 3, and I shift up, we want to shift so that my bottom foot faces in front of me. All right, this is going to help us get into a side kick position here, and it gets our hips ready for this kick. So as I'm doing my kata this way, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to shift up, foot goes right here, weight goes on this, and then it allows me the ability to throw my kick right from that position. All right, so then we have 2, 3 knife hand blocks, and we're going to push down, and this is one fluid motion. Don't make this slow. All right, this is a block. Somebody's punching at you, you're catching, you're going over the top. So we're going here, we're going to go, what? And we ki on that motion. All right, next 4 moves are pretty simple. Knife hand blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, as we're doing this motion here, we want to think about this like a forearm block here. And then bringing our arm up. That's going to allow your hips full rotation. It'll allow you to get that reverse bladed position this way. All right, that's going to allow that kick to go out a lot smoother, and we set down into the punch. All right, so moving forward from there, we have the middle block, kick, punch, and then Muroto Uke. The last 4 moves, again, pretty simple. Low block, high block, low block, and high block. And then shift back to Yoi with purpose. Don't just return back like you're already done. Yoi is your last motion. Make it strong. And then after you bow, then you can be done with your kata. You can relax. But don't go here and then relax back. That would be the same as getting into a street fight, and then when you finally finish off the last guy, just getting right back on your phone and starting to text. It's not a good idea. You want to still be aware. You want to return with what's called zanshin, or basically remaining mindset. So I want to end my kata, and then I want to actually end my kata with focus. Alright, and then after I bow, then I can relax and take a breather. Alright, that's it for the breakdown of this kata. If you have any questions, please toss them down below. If you have any video requests or anything that you'd like to see me do a video on, please let me know as well. Also, just drop a comment saying hello, let me know your thoughts. I love connecting with everybody down in the comment section. But if you did enjoy this, do me a favor and just hit that like and subscribe button. That way you won't miss anything. And also let me know that you appreciate what we're doing and the time we're taking to teach all this stuff as best we can. Alright, thank you all so much for watching. Have an awesome day, have an awesome time training, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, peace!